everybody out there in YouTube and audio podcast land. This is Rebel Rock Radio. Happy Valentine's Day. Well, for tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That's okay.
Exactly.
We're not on tomorrow, so we have to say today.
Yeah. So, I am one half your host, Team Steve, and with me over to my right, left, shit, I don't know.
I think it's your left. Is JD, your friend in the force.
That's right. So tonight we are going to be celebrating Valentine's Day early with a discussion about the romance of Star Wars. Romancing the Star Wars. And in the chat with us right now is Spencer. How's it going there, Spencer? I think he's going to be leaving early because he's got a D&D game. and
Spencer,
Patrick,
I see where.
How's it going, Patrick?
I see where we rank. Jeez.
Well, you know. I mean, got your priorities. I understand. I see how it is.
We get it. We get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see how it is. All right. All right. Nothing but love. Yes, romance is in the air.
I'm in the mood for love.
Did you see the tweet that I posted earlier with the song?
I did not.
With a little bit of song in there.
I did not.
Yeah, the song, I posted a couple of song lyrics, and it was love, exciting, and new. I'm bored. We're expecting you.
How many people actually know what that's from? Come on. Bonus points in the chat. Come on.
I'll bet you that Spencer doesn't know what it is.
Nope. I'll bet Spencer doesn't know. Beer power unite.
What song that is in reference to? I don't. Patrick might.
I'll give you a hint. They renewed the TV show and it's coming back, I think, or is back. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they come up with a new one.
That's horrifying. Why would they do that?
That's because they're bored.
I mean, if you're gonna make like reboot TV shows of old like 80s TV shows, why can't we get a new version of BJ and the Bear? That show was awesome.
Nobody knows who that's from. Come on. Stop making us feel old. You people have to know what that's from.
Spencer does not know. It is from a show called The Love Boat.
The Love Boat.
Tina just jumped in. Just in time for us to say Love Boat.
Hi, Tina.
Love
is in the air.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about different romances inherent in Star Wars, and we've got another top 5 list for you later on. We are going to do our top 5 hardcore porno movies. What? Oh, rom-com.
Oh. Son of a
I'm going to have to completely redo my list while we're sitting here talking.
Did you find another one?
No, I thought we were doing porno movies, and I came up with the wrong list. God damn it.
Well, I mean,
those could be considered romantic.
I know nobody in the chat's going to believe me, but I have no idea. So
I don't believe you.
You don't believe? What the hell?
Whatever. So there have been further misadventures in the Long household regarding coffee makers.
So
remember, we are Debbie does Tatooine already. I have not seen that one. What was I going about? Oh yeah. So
coffee maker.
You know that our coffee maker broke, and we had to get it. We called out to the manufacturer to get it replaced. They sent a replacement.
And you had a funeral for it, for the old one.
For the old one? No, I didn't. 2 weeks later, that one stops working. So, yeah. So that thing stopped working, and I was pissed. No end, as you can imagine. So pissed. So,
when Steve doesn't have his coffee, he's growly.
We made the executive decision to not buy another coffee maker for that brand or from that brand. So we I think we went out like the next day and went to Walmart and bought a completely different brand and tossed the replacement out. We just tossed it in the trash. We're like, so screw this. I mean, we were talking about this in the Tina remembers this conversation. We were talking about when were we talking about that? Oh, we were talking about that before we started playing D&D this past Friday night. Talking about how have you ever seen the movie Office Space?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They go out and they destroy the printer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Get old gangster on it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna fish that thing out of the garbage can, and I'm going in the backyard and
I'm going gangster.
Office Space on that damn thing. Coffee maker. I will never get that brand again, ever. And I don't want to drag anybody's name through the mud, so I'm not going to mention the brand.
I was going to say, are you going to mention
it? I probably mentioned it a few episodes, but I'm not going to go. But I'm not going to say it again. We ended up getting no, Spencer. I did not smash it. It's still in the garbage. So we actually ended up going with a Mr. Coffee brand. And that was the suggestion by. Man, I want to say it was either Chantel or it might have been Kelly. I don't remember, but the whole premise was that Mr. Coffee's been around forever, so less chance of it to be a big piece of crap. But that also required another change in the coffee distribution, shall we say. So like with the old one, we had you had the pot of coffee that you could brew a whole pot. And then on the side, we had the single, so you could do the K-pods. Well, we're doing away with the K-pods. We're like, forget it. We're not doing K-pods anymore. We're just got a regular coffee machine with just a pot. And a lot of it was like, everybody in this house drinks coffee. So doing it one cup at a time just seems to be wasteful. Because then everybody has to go and get their one. So we just got the Mr. Coffee with the coffee pot, and for the first time in years, this is the first time we've had a coffee pot in a really long time that had a timer on it. So now I've got a coffee maker that, as long as I remember the night before to put everything in it and program it, I will have coffee waiting for me when I wake up, so I don't have to.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been.
I used to do the K cups. I used to, make coffee that way and stuff like that. And it's just me and my girlfriend in the house, so we very rarely have people over that want coffee or anything like that. But
yeah.
I'm easily like on my days off on Saturdays and Sundays, if I'm not working or if I'm on vacation, I'm easily like a cup, 2-cup coffee type person.
Spencer.
What did he say?
Steve and his coffee is a big romance story. Timing works for the episode. That's fair.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll easily go through 2 cups of coffee. So if I can just make 2 cups of coffee at once and then just keep one warm while I'm drinking the other in a pot, that usually works pretty good for me. So
yeah, Tina, that was the other one that was recommended. I think it was you that recommended the Ninja, and it was either Chantel or Kelly that recommended.
I think I recommended Ninja too.
Oh, you might have.
Yeah. I reckon because
Hey,
that's what I
how's
have.
it going? Good to see you in the chat.
Ubaldo!
How's it going?
What's going on? Just in time for another coffee discussion.
I was gonna say something. Now I can't fucking remember what it was. Yeah, because Tina mentioned she has a French press. We haven't bought it yet, but we're gonna buy a grinder and then just get our beans fresh and grind our own coffee. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah. We do that now. We'll get a whole bean, we'll grind them ourselves in a grinder, electric grinder, and do that kind of. It seems like they last longer and the flavor is captured a little better, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's what my wife was saying is that the flavor will be better, and it's like, yeah, I'm all about the flavor. I like flavor. I like the flavor. All right, so who all we got in the chat room now? We got Spencer, we got Patrick, we got Tina, we got Ubaldo. Good times. So yeah, we were supposed to have a guest with us. Maybe they are indisposed. That's okay though. That's okay. We got plenty to talk about.
And if we don't have plenty to talk about, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we got our weekly recommendations coming up. And you've got a special one, kind of.
Yep.
We've got our music.
I have a special one. I have a special one from last week by request, so I'm going to take care of that today for the people in the chat.
Very good. We've got our music, and we've got our top 5 not porno movies, romantic comedies. Since apparently I wrote down the wrong list. And then eventually we will get to talking about the different romantic relationships in Star Wars. There's a lot of them. There are
a lot of them.
Both canon and legends. And we're kind of going to, I'm looking at my list and there's one that's a legend, so I guess the rest of them are canon. But I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and jump into our first song of the evening, and then we will continue our jibber jabber. So this song comes from a band based out of Rainier, Oregon. They are called Broadway Calls, and they just put a new album out on January 26th via Red Scare Industries. The album is called Coming After You. It's actually an EP. It's not a full-length album. But, yeah, that came out on January 26th, and we are going to play the title track from that album. So here's Coming After You by Broadway Calls.
You bought an island and I burnt the bridge. You made plans for revenge. it choke.
All right, and that was Coming After You by Broadway Calls. Good stuff.
I'm with Spencer. I like that one.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was a really good one.
I particularly like the bass line in that song. It was really good. I like Broadway Calls. They man, they haven't released I think the last time they released an album was in 2020. I mean, they've released a couple of singles here and there, but I think this is the first, I mean, even like close to an album that we've gotten since 2020. But yeah, I like it.
I like it.
So, what have you been up to this since last we met?
One word, man. Chiefs.
Oh yeah, I guess there was football
on Sunday.
event.
There was this sporting event. I don't know if you were aware of it. There was a sporting event, and
I heard something about that. Wasn't there?
Yeah, I don't know. And some
Taylor Swift or something.
Something about Taylor Swift being there and some big thing. I don't know what the heck was going on. So anyway, a backstory about me a little bit. I am originally from Indiana, so I'm obviously a Peyton Manning era Colts fan. And I've been a Colts fan for a long time. Unfortunately, my Colts suck. And I'm not going to say why. I have my personal opinions, but the Colts suck. But because I live in Kansas now, obviously, with all the Chiefs fans running around, if I don't at least support the Chiefs or at least pretend like I'm a fan, I'm afraid I might get lynched. So, so I am a lot of, like I said, my daughter and her family, and they've converted her boyfriend, who is from England. He is now a Chiefs fan, and so we watched.
You haven't been converted.
I'm not going to give up on my Colts, but I don't have a problem being a fan and rooting for the Chiefs as well, since I actually live in this area. So,
I did not watch the Super Bowl. Not really an American. I'm not really a fan of American football. It's just not my thing. Every year, at least for the last few years, except for Sunday, for some reason, we have watched the Kiddie Bowl. Are you aware of what the Kiddie Bowl is?
Yeah, I think so. Because it used to be like the Puppy Bowl, but now they do the Kiddie Bowl.
There is still a Puppy Bowl, but now they've
there's a Bowl. Now they added the Kiddie Bowl. Okay, yep.
And I just happened to miss it. I didn't watch. Hey, Brian's in the chat. How's it going?
Brian's in the chat. Hey, Brian.
Well, Brian says that he rooted for the Chiefs, but he's an Eagles fan.
Spencer says I didn't watch that, but I knew it. Yeah, that's the conspiracy. There's some scripted stuff going on the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I think that's completely out in left field. But that's just my opinion.
But there were some good movie trailers that came out.
Yes, Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3. That was a good trailer. I'm looking forward to that. The trailer for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was amazing.
That looked cool. That looked very
I
cool.
was already looking forward to that movie, but oh my gosh.
Now, I grew up, here's some more background on me. I grew up with a lot of women in the family, a lot of sisters, and they were huge Wizard of Oz fans. And I actually did painting for a play that we did in high school. I helped do the painting because I was not a terrible artist. I did some painting for backgrounds for our production that we did of Wizard of Oz, and one of the trailers that came out for the Super Bowl was the trailer for the cinematic version of Wicked, which is the telling of one of the stories about one of the witches of the I can't remember which witch it is. Yeah, one of the witches in which, you know, the relationship between Glinda and one of the witches in the Wizard of Oz. So yeah, so that was kind of cool. That was kind of neat to see that they're actually going to make that out into a movie. Now, I've never seen the Broadway musical. I know a little bit about it. I'm obviously, like I said, I've watched Wizard of Oz. I know that show because, like I said, I had to watch it when I was a kid. I was forced to, and you know, so that's kind of cool. You know, for those Wizard of Oz fans out there, for people who are really deep into that.
The only Broadway musical that I've actually gone to go see is when I took my youngest to go see Hamilton. That was interesting.
Yeah.
You were going to say something?
What was I going to say?
Sure.
I don't remember. From what I've heard, the musical for Wicked, the Broadway musical, is excellent. It's a very good musical, and the book is supposed to be very good too. So I'm hoping that it doesn't disappoint those fans out there who are Wizard of Oz or Wicked fans.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I might. Spencer brought up a good point. I might actually drag the woman to go see Deadpool 3 in theaters, because it's going to be Deadpool and Wolverine, and Wolverine's probably one of my second favorite MCU characters, and Deadpool has become probably my top 5. So.
Interestingly enough, on the subject of sports ball, we've had the chat before about being hockey fans and whatnot, and then we also briefly mentioned soccer. I think you said you were a soccer fan.
My daughter plays soccer. My daughter's boyfriend was a goalie for his college team. My daughter has pretty much played since she was like little. And she plays for a college team now, and so yeah, we're kind of a soccer family.
So interestingly, so when Oklahoma City had at one time they had 2 soccer teams, professional but like lower tiered, and completely different leagues. There was one called Rayo OKC that was owned by a team based out of Spain. And then there was the Energy. So Rayo folded. If any of you folks know anything about European soccer, there's a system called promotion and relegation, or is it regulation? Relegation. And so basically, if you do well enough, you get promoted to the next league, the next tier in the league. But if you do poorly enough, if you do really bad, you end up getting relegated to the lowest. So anyway, the team in Spain that owned this team in Oklahoma City got relegated. And usually when you get relegated, it means loss of funds. So they're like, yeah, we're cutting our losses with the Oklahoma City team. So they were gone.
Was this the update? Because you told us a story about the one they ended up, they were going to make a new stadium for the soccer team, and then they ended up stealing it and using it for somebody else.
Yeah, that was the Energy.
Okay.
So yeah, point I'm getting at is I was a season ticket holder for both of these teams at different times. Like when I was a season ticket holder for Rayo, And then when that team folded, I became a season ticket holder for Energy and went to a bunch of games, all that kind.
Okay.
Point being, even though so I'm a big soccer fan. However, I never really got into the English Premier League. That's a big thing. So I never really got into it, and I don't know why, or any reason why. Like I did follow Bundesliga, which is the German professional league. Anyway, so recently I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start watching Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll start watching it. But then I was like, okay, so there's a bunch of teams. So who am I going to watch? Who's going to get my support? Yeah. So earlier this morning, I'm sitting around and just goofing around, and I pulled up Wikipedia, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find a list of teams that are in Premier League. And because I was talking to somebody on social media about it, and I was like, I'm probably just going to pick a team at random and just start supporting them just for the, why? What? I mean, I don't live in England, so I don't really have any set loyalty to anybody.
Any loyalties? Yeah, I was going to say any loyalties.
So I'm looking at this list, and list of all these teams, and as you know, I'm pretty sure you know, and I think most of the people in the chat know that I'm a big Beatles fan.
Mm.
So I'm looking through this list and I go, well, Liverpool. Beatles are from Liverpool.
Of course.
There we go. I'm going to be a Liverpool fan. So I actually watched a match earlier today. While I was working, I had it up on my computer screen and on full screen, watching the game, looking over every once in a while, and checking out what's going on. So it wasn't a live game. It was it was a game that happened, I want to say on the 11th. It's a couple days old. Now I don't remember. It wasn't today. I know that it wasn't live. But I was looking, I was like, well, okay, so I'm going to watch these games, but where am I going to watch them? Certainly there's somewhere on streaming I can watch these. And they're actually on Peacock. So we have an account with Peacock. I think the original reason we had Peacock is because WWE was on there.
Keep talking, Steve. I'm listening.
But yeah, the games are on Peacock. And so yeah, I watched they played, hell, I don't even remember who they played. It'll come to me in a second. Yeah, it won't. Never mind. Shit. Okay, now I'm gonna have to pull up this list of Premier League teams. This is gonna bother me if I can't remember who it is.
My daughter and her boyfriend made it over here. They're cooking lasagna for dinner, and we're all going to the parade in Kansas City tomorrow.
Oh,
but I forgot to unlock the door.
Okay, that's fine. That's where's the? I just need the scores. Where's the flipping scores? Okay. Well, actually, what day was it? Oh, there it is. It was on Saturday. So it was a game from Saturday the 10th, and Liverpool played Burnley. And Liverpool won 3-1. But anyway, so yeah, that's my sports ball story. I started watching EPL soccer, and now I've got it set up on Peacock where it'll notify me when a game is coming up, so I can watch it. So
nice,
cool stuff. Like we don't.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know when the energy's coming back, and we don't have a soccer team here. So what else am I going to do?
If I was going to support a European league, I think Madrid is in there.
They are not in the Premier League. They have their own league.
Oh,
Spain, that is. Spain has La Liga, Is the name of their league. Yeah.
I would have to support them because I've actually been there. So
Okay. Yeah. In La Liga, you got Real Madrid, you got Barcelona. Yeah, I've caught a few games of La Liga back in the day.
Mhm.
I know that the MLS season is about to start in a couple of months, but American soccer is weird.
I think they they try to Americanize it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's much more flashy, and it's much more it's more pomp and circumstance. I think, and we tried to add our American flair to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
So
I mean, if you're
Tina says her husband loves soccer, played all the way through school. So I never played soccer, but my youngest child did, and I actually coached their team for one season. So never played, but I did coach.
nice.
This is probably something. Let's see, what is Spencer? Something completely different because I don't care. But what is Ryan Reynolds' team connected to?
He. I don't think is he part of it. I think they're just an exhibition league, aren't they? He just takes retired players and they just play for fun, I think, or something like that. Isn't that what it is? I mean, I could be completely off base, but
Hold on, let me look at it. So, okay, so Ryan Reynolds is co-owner of a Welsh soccer team, Wrexham. Wrexham, damn near killed him. Yeah, I don't know what league they're part of. I'm assuming Wales must have their own league. I'm trying to find it. Welsh Football Club. They are part of the same football league system as Premier League. They're just a much lower tier. So, hey, Charles just jumped into the chat room. How's it going, Charles? Anyway, so yeah, that was more jibber jabber. Yeah, I started watching EPL soccer today, so that was interesting.
nice.
And I was like, I want to read about this team because I don't know anything about the team, other than they're from Liverpool and I know what their logo looks like.
And they're
So
somehow
yeah,
connected to the Beatles.
I didn't look at any scores. I didn't look at any standings. I was just like, I wanted to go in completely blind and just pick a team, just based on whatever. And I was like, Beatles, Liverpool. There we go.
There you go.
But yeah, I ended up I borrowed from the library. I borrowed an ebook about Liverpool. So interesting epilogue to that. As I said, I didn't look at scores or standings or anything like that. They're actually number one in the league right now. I was like, wow.
Either that's just a happy coincidence, or you just made a good choice.
Happy coincidence. I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you do anything else besides the Super Bowl this week?
No, nothing really this week. It's been pretty nice out. Just a Super Bowl on Sunday, and dang. I got so hyped on the Super Bowl. I actually did do something cool this weekend. This weekend. Yeah, Saturday night. I bought tickets back in like October or November, early November for this, and I had actually almost forgot about it. And then finally they sent me a reminder. What we did is if you've ever been to Wichita, they have a lot of performing arts stuff because obviously when you're in the middle of the country, you have to make up your own activity. And they have a wonderful Wichita Symphony Orchestra. And this weekend, Saturday night show was they did the legendary music of John Williams.
Oh,
Yes, that was
very nice.
awesome. They did cuts from 1942. They did stuff from Memoirs of a Geisha. They did stuff from, let's see, some of the bigger ones were, they did like 3 songs from Harry Potter, and they actually did 5 songs from Star Wars, which was pretty freaking cool. It was neat. It was neat because they did 4 songs. They did, let's see, they started out with Rise of the, or what was the song? It was, oh gosh dang it. Enter, like something about Into the Resistance. There was Leia's theme. They did the Force theme. They did, and then they did the main title theme from Star Wars. Oh no! I'm sorry. I know what it was. It was Leia's theme. It was Rey's theme. Then they did the Song of the Resistance. They did Leia's theme, Yoda's theme, and then they did the main title theme from Star Wars.
Cool.
And then they come out and did an encore performance, and their encore performance was the Imperial March.
Nice.
And
Really?
I've heard other orchestras try this before, and I've heard other orchestras that are rather famous. And like I said, we're not much for dragging people through the mud, so I'm not going to drag them through the mud and say anything about certain ones. But I've heard other orchestras try to perform this music, and it came up short for me. It fell short. When we were there, we were right in the front row, and it was excellent. It was an excellent show. They played so well. It was so great. It was a great time to hear his music. And I didn't realize this, but a few days ago, last week, he actually had his 92nd birthday.
Yeah.
92 years old, and the man is still working. And some things I didn't know. I actually learned a few things. The man has been conducting music or making music for the last 7 decades.
Good.
And they said he's been nominated for at least once in the last 7 decades for music that he has written or performed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, the credentials of this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, right. And so, yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of movies that people don't even realize.
Yeah.
You know, and when he was in Rise of Skywalker, they put him behind the bar as a bartender in the movie because they wanted to get him in that final movie. And then if you look up, for a little movie trivia for those of you who, if you get a chance to watch Rise of Skywalker again, if you look on the bar in the back, there are pieces of like little Easter eggs from all of the music that he's done for a lot of the movies. So like there's these little barrels that they fixed up from Jaws. There's a time turner from Harry Potter. There's a few other ones. There's all kinds of things scattered throughout there, and they put those in the background to kind of as an homage to him. That's after cool. They put him in the movie. And I was amazed. It was crazy how long he's been doing music and how old he was, in the fact, and that he's still doing music. Yeah. But Spencer, if you get a chance, watch the extras from Rise of Skywalker, and they show that in one of the extras they talk about John Williams and putting him in the movie and putting all of his Easter eggs in the background. And then if you watch the movie and pause it, you can actually see all those behind him of all the music that he's done. It's really neat. That is pretty cool. Yeah. So first time I'd actually been to a live symphony orchestra in a long time, and they hit it out of the park. It was absolutely fantastic. I think I've ever done one.
Speaking of, I'm not sure why this reminded me, but you did see the announcement that they're going to re-release Phantom Menace in May?
Yes, Phantom Menace in May, coming in for the 25 years of
25th anniversary.
25th anniversary, so good stuff.
I'll be going to see it. Absolutely. Other than what we've already talked about, I did, like Friday night, I did the D&D with the Red 5 Tavern. So if you want to check that out, here is the link to the YouTube, and that's how you'll get to the replay of our show or our game from Friday, youtube.com/@the red 5 tavern 468. and I'll have that in the show notes as well. It was fun times. I don't think we're playing another game until they don't have one this Friday, but there'll be one the next Friday after that. And then last night I went to the game store and played some more Vaskram. That was fun.
Nice.
All right, what do we got going on? All right, where can you find us on social media? This one's always easy to do because there's just one link that'll take you anywhere you want to go. You just go to rebelrockradio.com. That'll take you to the bio link. Wait a minute, is it a bio link? I think it's a bio link. It might be one of those link tree things. I don't know. Let me check it. I'm pretty sure it's bio link. Anyway, it takes you to a bio link, and that'll send you to all the different places where you can see us on social media, and also will show you all of the well, now I'm looking at it and I don't know. Oh, there we go. Yeah. All the different platforms where you can hear the audio version of this podcast. So just go to rebelrockradio.com and it'll take you where you need to go. Cool stuff. Podcast shout outs. Let's do some shout outs. You want to start? You have some?
I don't have any this week.
No? Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I don't have any this week. You know what? I do have one. Okay. Somebody was asking me about a video game that I played the other day, and it's called DayZ. And if you haven't played it before, you're thinking about playing the game and think about going back to playing the game. One of the YouTube channels that I like to watch are, and I guess I don't know if it's the YouTube channel, but anyway, one of the YouTube channels I watch that kind of go through it and teach you and they show a lot of things is there's a YouTube channel called Fresh Spawns, and they play a lot of DayZ. They've been playing for like 10 years and pretty knowledgeable, and they give you helpful tips and stuff like that if you ever thought about playing the game. Good bunch of guys to watch, and they're both from England. They're very funny, do a lot of funny stuff. They do some mean stuff, but they do a lot of funny stuff. And so, yeah. So I'll give a shout out to the Fresh Spawns YouTube channel. And if you're thinking about DayZ and the video game, I recommend checking them out.
Cool. So I always want to give a shout out to the guys over at Sidebar Cantina, as well as the guys over at ATSW The Escape Pod. A couple of fun podcasts to check out there. Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha is another good one to check out. Let's see what else. Another not really a new podcast, but one I just for whatever reason have been forgetting to give a shout out for every week is a podcast called Salacious Rum. So that one is a lot of fun. And a new one that I just started listening to today. I listened to this after I was done watching the Liverpool game. But it's a soccer podcast. And it is called, where's that? Caught Offside. So that was a good one. Let's see, is that a podcast or is that he's somebody in the chat room is trying to get me to shout out I guess that's our YouTube stream. It is called, I don't know, what is the name of the podcast? It is called Blue, and I guess it's called Blue and Spencer versus. So it's Blue and who is in the chat room now, and Spencer, who has been in the chat room since we started, and they are discussing. It's called Blue and Spencer versus the MCU. So they are going through every MCU movie. and discussing. Like they've done Iron Man and they did Hulk. I think those are the only two they've done so far.
Did they catch our last show where we did our top 5 MCU movies? I'll bet they didn't.
Probably not. Spencer might have. I don't know if that other stranger actually even listens to this podcast. We didn't do an episode this week because I was sick, but we're doing Iron Man this Sunday. Okay. Yep, I agree. Yep. Blue said I do not watch this show. Man, talk about some family loyalty right there.
Well, he asked if we were talking about anything good. I'm like, apparently you don't watch the show because we always talk about good stuff.
We always talk about something good.
We always talk about something good.
There is something good on YouTube right now. We are. Jeez,
That's us. These guys right here.
Yeah. So I think that is I think that's all our shout out stuff we've got. Yeah, I think we're done there. I think it's time for another music break.
Yes, sir.
That figures. Look at there. He came in to get plugged and now is about to leave.
We can handle it. We're
That's
friendly
right,
with everybody.
That's right. We are talking about Romancing the Bone.
Romancing the Bones. Ooh la la.
Okay, yeah, no, song. We got another song. So this one comes from a band based out of Londonderry, UK. You know what? If I am correct, and I am going to confirm this information, I was right. Londonderry is actually part of Northern Ireland, but that's still considered UK. So this band is based out of Northern Ireland. They are called Cherym. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. They have an album coming out on February 16th via Alcapop Records. That album will be called Take It or Leave It. And the song we are going to play for you by these folks is Alpha Beta Sigma. So here it is.
Said I was
right. That was Cherym. I don't know. Alpha Beta Sigma is the name of that song.
It's Irish speak. It could be anything.
It could be anything. So while
I'll
we were
give it-
playing the song, Chantel bounced into the chat. So it's good to see you again. It's been a long time since you've been in our chat room. Always a pleasure.
I got to give it to you, man. That's 2 for 2, man. I like both those songs. Those were good.
Heck yeah, these were,
Yeah, both those. That was a
catchy
good.
little ditty.
Yeah, that was a catchy tune, man. I liked it.
Yeah,
That's like I said, 2 for 2. That's awesome.
Stuff, yeah. Oh, you know what time it is? It is time for some weekly picks.
Uh-oh, I better get my pick.
You better get your pick.
I gotta get my pick.
So I've got a couple. I could go either way.
See you, Spencer.
I've got a book. Bye, Spencer. Have fun at D&D. So let's see. I could either do a book or a TV show. I think I'll do the book. So if you weren't already aware of this, I've been is embroiled the word? Maybe embroiled is the word in this read/reread of Daredevil comic books. Been reading a bunch of some stuff I've read before and just doing a reread, and some stuff I was like, why have I never read this? So over the weekend, I reread this book, this Daredevil book, and I like basically I forgot how good it was and how much I liked it. But that book is Frank Miller's Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. That was written, gosh, when was that originally written? I think early 90s, like maybe 93, 92. But it's like one of those, I mean, if you're reading Daredevil or if you're a Daredevil fan, that's like one of those legendary books in this area. So I reread that and I was like, man, I forgot how much I really like this. So my recommendation is Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. And I'll have a link to that in the show notes for you. Tina says, I never do anything new. You're forgiven, Tina.
I had a request from some of our viewers last week. I showed them my brand new Egon Spangler 1984 edition neutrino wand. And everybody said, or I had a few suggestions in the chat that I should do an unboxing. So, as promised, my weekly pick is going to be my unboxing of my neutrino wand. So, let me get the thing off of it here, if I can. Yeah, there we go. And let's see here.
This is from the same place, the Hasbro.
This is from the Hasbro line. This is from the Hasbro. And as soon as you open the box, I'll kind of show it here. As soon as you open the box, this is what you see. Kind of cool. Yeah, this is from Hasbro Pulse. And like I said earlier, I'm kind of disappointed that I did not back the Proton Pack from Afterlife. I did not back it. I didn't think I would have room for it in my collection, so I did not back it. So unfortunately, I have a neutrino wand, but I do not have a backpack. Let's see if I can get through this here. Find my knife. Try not to cut myself. And try not to break anything that's supposed to remain, in the same vicinity. Come on, get off there.
So this is Egon's Proton Pack.
This is Egon's neutrino wand, but it's circa 1984. So they, I think they remodeled or they redid some stuff on the newer ones. I'm not real sure. I'd have to look up 100% what the differences is between the Afterlife models and these. And so, let's see. We'll set that right there. There we go. Oh, that's the stand. Okay. And it does come with a stand too, which is awesome. I'm gonna have to break that out here in a minute. So there's that. Let me get this off of here. Don't you love all the ties and the plastic and all the crap that comes with it? Let's see here. I'm trying to undo this. I swear I haven't. Oh, okay, where's my knife? I'm just going to do it the barbarian way. There we go. All right. There we go. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, it does work. That. Okay. So you actually have the, I think, if I got it right.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how to use it, I guess.
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams. That's right. Let's see here. Intensify. Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So it's got all kinds of good buttons on it, different things that can go on it. They say this will work with the proton pack if you ever got the proton pack.
That's cool.
And I brought batteries so I could fire it up. Let me go ahead and put the batteries in real quick if you want to talk for a second,
I hope
Steve.
it makes the sound.
It does. It has lights and sounds from the original movie. That's why I brought batteries.
Very cool.
So the battery pack is here in the end. And I have not, I apologize. There's some things I'm probably not going to know about how to work this thing just simply because.
This is why we love Chantel in the chat room.
Oh my God. But yeah, this is my first attempt at even messing with it. So I have not even taken it out of the box yet. I just literally cut the tape while Steve was talking about his picks. So if that tells you anything. So, oh, okay. There we go. Got a little battery pack. Let me throw my batteries in it real quick. And then we'll fire it up. Okay, I think that's how it goes. Let's see here. Okay. Da-da-da. All right. Oop. Screw that back in. All right. Let's see here. This is what happens when you don't read the instructions. Oh, there you go. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Ready? There's the lights and sounds.
Very cool.
You see the lights and sounds on it? There you go. And it even vibrates.
Ooh.
That's kind of cool. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I haven't figured out. How do you hear this? I gotta figure out how to get it to pop.
Yeah, Chantel likes that vibrate function.
Of course she would. And it even has power down options. I can't figure out why I can't pop the thing out. I pushed it back in. I don't know. Like I said, I probably have to read the instructions, or actually, read the instructions.
Yeah. Speaking of Ghostbusters, there was a I think last week I saw a new, or at least new to me, a new trailer for the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
At least the trailer that I had not seen previously.
Yeah, it had more Bill Murray and the new guy and the old guys in it, and the older group in it and stuff. Yeah,
and it had Walter Peck in it.
yes, that was the most surprising part of it. Was they actually had Walter Peck in it? That was crazy. So yeah, so there you go. Like I said, I had to do a little bit of research.
My name is
So anyway, there you go. There's the neutrino wand with all the batteries in it and working and everything else. Kind of neat. Got some metal parts in it. Got some really good metal parts in it, and I mean, it looks pretty good quality detail, either weathering on the handle and most of the like you've even got welding here where it looks like you welded it and that sort of thing. So yeah, this it's a pretty neat thing for if you're a Ghostbusters fan and you need something for your Halloween costume or whatever. There you go. Yeah.
So let's see. Frozen Empire comes out March 22nd. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's gonna be a good one. There's a lot of good movies coming out like between now and the end of March. Like this weekend alone, there's 2 movies I'm going to go out and see. The Bob Marley movie comes out. The Bob Marley movie comes out, and then also Madam Web comes out.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to the neutrino one real quick. On this box, it comes in a box that says it's EPA security on it, and it actually has Walter Peck's signature on it.
That's
saying
awesome.
it was confiscated by the EPA.
That's crazy. Oh man. And that's right, Chantel. On March 1st, Dune 2 comes out. And then
looks
March,
good too.
So yeah, lots of good movies coming out. It's going to be a blast. Oh, you know what? I think it's time for our top 5 list now.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
And apparently it was not top 5 porno movies. So
you think?
A little disappointing. Had my list already. Now I got to come up with a new list. I heard that too, Chantel. Only like I've said before, I got this weird thing I like to do called making up my own mind. So I'm going to go see it anyway. I might end up liking it. Even I have heard from quite a few people that it was kind of a stinker, but I'll find out for myself. All right. So we were tasked with top 5 romantic comedies. And before we get into our list, I went out on Twix and asked you all that listen to the show what your favorite romantic comedy is. So I did get a few responses out. Chantel did respond. Her response was When Harry Met Sally.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Justin from the Punk Lotto Pod said Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Texas Toon said Singles. That's another good one. And the last one we got is Anani Mouse. And they said, they had 2. They have Princess Bride and 10 Things I Hate About You. Tina, she has the correct answer. And that is Zach and Miri Make a Porno. And then she also said there's something about Mary. And Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
None of those made
Yeah, Chantel, I had to take his word for it because I've never seen the movie. So she says that Eternal Sunshine is depressing and not sure I agree with it being a romantic comedy. So
I sitting here fooling with stuff. I figured out how to eject it. Ready?
very nice.
Yeah.
All right. So as we have done in the past, we're going to start with our number 5 and then slowly get to our number 1 favorite romantic comedy. So, JD, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Anybody want to place odds on any of our movies being the same? Because last week we came pretty close with our top 5 lists.
I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be.
Number 1 was the same. Remember?
Yep. I remember that. I remember that. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna pull some odds this time. I'm gonna say this one for us may not exactly be the same.
I don't think ours are going to be.
I don't think it's going to be the same. We have such a broad range of movies that you could pick for romantic comedies that it's like okay. So
I had a pretty long list that I came up with, and I'm like, hey, yeah, these are my 5 favorites. Why not?
Yeah.
So
okay. So anyway,
right.
my first one, my top 5, top 5. Number 5 for me was Groundhog Day.
Okay, that's a good movie.
Yep. Andy McDowell and Bill Murray. It's just a hilarious movie.
Yep.
And loved it when I was younger, and it's been a very good romantic comedy. I like it, and it's just funny. The pretext and the plot of the movie is funny, and love Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is a great romantic comedy.
Good one. That's a good one. All right. My number 5 is Chasing Amy. Kevin Smith movie. Dude falls in love with a lesbian, and he's a comic book artist, and it's the story of him and his relationship with this lesbian and how that relationship nurtures into something else and then comes crashing down. That was my number 5, Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me, My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Okay.
If you've never seen it, it's funny. Have you ever seen the movie?
I have not. No.
Okay. So I'll give you a context of the movie real quick. So this girl her family is like hardcore Greek, and they live in the Chicago area. And they're so hardcore Greek that the dad gets upset basically when the girl falls in love with and ends up marrying a Caucasian white guy. And he's like vegan, he's got long hair, and the whole relationship of them trying to go back and forth with the guy trying to impress the dad and the dad not digging it and everything. And it's very well written, very funny movie. It's a good romantic comedy. If you've never seen it, I encourage you to watch it. And there's now 3 films, and
fans in the chat room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. It's a very funny movie. Very good. And Nia Vardalos, who is the lead actress in the show, she's actually the writer of the stories. And like I said, they've come out with 3 by now, and they're very funny movies.
Very good. All right, that's your number 4. My number 4 is 1989's Say Anything.
Yes, like that. That's
starring
a good movie.
John Cusack and I can't remember the girl's name. Ione Skye was the other one. We got the kind of the John Cusack character, just go with it, and then the school valedictorian, and takes place after they graduate from high school, and follows their romance. Say Anything. That's my number 4.
Nice.
And I'm to be fair, Yes, that song is from Say Anything, Chantel. That song is cool.
Yes.
In Your Eyes by
Yes.
Peter Gabriel.
Mhm.
I'm actually a pretty big, as far as actors go, I'm a pretty big fan of John Cusack. So
Yeah, I like John Cusack.
I like a lot of his movies. All right,
Mhm.
that brings us to your number 3.
Number 3, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I take it you've never seen that one either.
Nope, haven't seen that one.
So it's
I don't think any of ours are going to be the same.
No, it's Andy McDowell and dang it, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Andy McDowell and he was in Notting Hill. He's been in
Hugh Grant.
What's that?
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Thank you. Gosh.
When you
Yes.
said Notting Hill, I was like, I think that's Hugh Grant.
Yeah, Hugh Grant. Yeah, Hugh Grant and Andy McDowell, and it's oh my god, British humor, funny. It's an outstanding movie. It's you have to watch it.
Okay.
If you've never seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral, you have to watch it. It's a great romantic comedy. A lot of fun, a lot of funny, very fun English and Scottish humor in it, and it's a great show. I love it. It's a good show.
Cool. No, haven't seen that one.
Yep.
All righty. Where are we at? Number 3 is The Wedding Singer. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. With a cameo by Billy Idol.
Okay, hold on. Yes, that is a great movie. And I have to give, on that note, an honorable mention because one of very similar movie almost made it into my top 5, which is 50 First Dates. That is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, but Wedding Singers is outstanding and funny.
Yep.
But 50 First Dates almost made it
on
into
my original list before it got pared down to 5. But yeah,
it's definitely in my top 10. Yeah. 50 First Dates is in my top 10.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very good. I think that brings us to your number 2.
Number 2, Shakespeare in Love.
Okay.
Have you seen that one? You've never seen that one. And actually,
of yours?
I think that when we get to number 1, we'll talk about that because I think you probably have. Groundhog Day.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Yeah. So, okay, Shakespeare in Love, basically a real quick synopsis is it's Shakespeare when he's writing Romeo and Juliet, and he falls with a woman who's already betrothed to somebody else, but the guy's like a real douchebag, and he's like a bad guy. And he has this short romantic relationship with this girl, and basically while he's in this relationship with the girl, he writes Romeo and Juliet based off some of the experiences that he has while he's trying to romance this girl who's never going to be his. So that's why it ends up being a tragedy. But the funny part of it, some of the funny scenes come from the fact that back in that day, women were not allowed to be in theater. And she poses as a man to be in the theater to play Romeo and Juliet. And that causes... Yeah. But it causes some very funny scenes, and if you like Shakespeare, if you like I said, if you like the English telling of tales and stuff like that, it's very good. And it's funny, but it's historical and it takes place in that time. But it's funny. It's actually got Ben Affleck in it, and I can't remember the lead actor's name, but it's Ben Affleck, Gwyneth Paltrow, and there's a few other really well-known actors in the show, and it's funny. It's a very funny, very good movie.
Okay, very cool. My number 2 is The Princess Bride.
Nice. Very nice.
Inconceivable.
I'm glad you added that because you said you were skeptical because it's more of a fantasy movie, but you weren't going to add it. I'm glad you added it. I really am glad.
It's my list. I'm going to add it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
As you wish.
Have fun storming the castle.
I love that movie. There's another good one. Tina. Can't Buy Me Love.
That's a great one too. Yeah. That's a good one too. Yep.
All right. Well, that brings us down to number one.
Number one. So I'm glad you added a fantasy movie on your list because I added a romantic. It's listed as a romantic comedy, but it's listed. They're listed as action romantic comedy, and I actually had two that tied for the first because they're in the same universe, if you will.
Okay.
So I actually have two movies, but they're of the same, like I said, same universe. It's my number one is Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile.
Okay.
Yes, Michael Douglas and Kathleen
There's
Turner.
your reference to Romancing the Bone.
Yeah, Romancing the Boat. Yeah, Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile. Like I said, Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito. There's action in the movies, but it's about the romance between the two of them, and they're basically like storybook or adult graphic, not adult graphic. What do I want to say? Adult novels that are put into that she actually writes, and then she becomes a part of those novels, and that goes through the adventures of the two of them. And there's two movies included in that. So, yeah, have you ever seen those either?
Oh yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
You've seen them, yeah. Okay, so I figured you probably had. Yeah,
those. Another movie that those two were together in.
War of the Roses.
DeVito was also in it. What'd you say?
War of the Roses.
Yeah, War of the Roses. Yeah.
War of the Roses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another. That one was more ha-ha, kind of stuff.
Yeah. Dark, kind of
that was a little dark humor on that one.
All right. Number one romantic comedy. Funniest damn movie ever. Hellraiser. I'm kidding.
I guess it depends on your social skills.
No. Hellraiser would show up on a list, but not romantic.
Yeah, I don't think it's rom-coms though.
Well, I mean, you can see that there was some romance going on in Hellraiser, depending on your.
Unless you have a weird obsession with Pinhead, I'm not seeing it, dude.
Depending on your definition of romance, no, but seriously, my number one favorite romantic comedy is High Fidelity.
High Fidelity.
Another John Cusack movie.
Mm-hmm.
He plays Rob, the owner of a record store in Chicago. And yeah, love that movie.
Chantel
yes, I believe you do, Chantel.
Pinhead is strangely hot. I have issues.
Frankly, I'd have to agree with you. But moving on, High Fidelity is my number one romantic comedy.
Yeah, I was actually going to throw out honorable mention, 50 First Dates, man. That is probably, in my opinion, I think that's one of Adam Sandler's best movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're going to do the honorable mention, I'm going to have to throw in Some Kind of Wonderful.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That was, I believe that's isn't that, oh man, now I got to look it up. Isn't it done by the same guy? Yeah, maybe not. No, it was written by John Hughes.
Oh, nice.
So he's the guy that does. He did what did he did like Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller. But yeah, he did some kind of. He wrote Some Kind of Wonderful. So yeah, that would be my honorable mention. I really like that movie. Cool. So that was our top 5 romantic comedies.
And look, Steve, this time we didn't match.
We did not match at all.
I
am noticing that we are an hour and 20 minutes into our show, though, and we still have not hit the main topic.
We probably should get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Don't you have a third song?
Oh, shit. Yeah, we still have a song.
Yeah. We should probably play the song, and then we can get into the romancing the Star Wars.
Heck yeah. Okay, so the third and final song is from a band based out of Southern California called the Disassociates. And they put out an album on January 19th called No Reason This Can't Be Fun. Very appropriate. And the song we're going to play from that album is called I Don't Wanna. I don't wanna.
I know that I don't really want to die, but I don't really want to be alive.
I don't wanna romanticize it. I'm really hoping you can sympathize with feeling crushed by the weight of existence. It's a daydream, not a full-on death wish. But if I could stop my breathing, I could start my healing. I need to escape this feeling, but I know that I don't really wanna die. But I don't really wanna be alive. I kinda wanna quit this game of life. It sucks and I hate it, but death's overrated. Suicide at 25 kinda sounds outdated, but I don't have what it takes to survive, so I don't really wanna be alive. I would love to be numb to my senses, and I would do it, but the funeral's expensive. It's not suicidal ideation. I don't think of death like it's my vocation. It's more like a backup plan. The only thing keeping me alive is knowing I can pull the plug if I wanna go to hell, find dharma. But don't make it sound so sad, 'cause I know that I don't wanna fucking die. But I don't really wanna be alive. I kinda wanna quit this game of life. It sucks and I hate it, but death's overrated. Suicide at 25 kinda sounds outdated, but I don't have what it takes to survive, so I don't really wanna be alive. But if I really commit to my suicidal tendencies, I think my mom and dad will commit to commit me. But I tried and I tried the suicidal hotline, and no one called me back to check if I was fine. It's a good thing I don't really wanna. I know that I don't really wanna die, but I don't really wanna be alive. I kinda wanna quit this game of life. I'm over it, I'm bored. The table with the board, I always consider it, but I'm not inconsiderate. So out of courtesy, I guess that I'll survive, but I still don't really wanna be alive.
All right. I Don't Wanna by the Disassociates.
I agree. I don't want to either.
I don't wanna.
I like the tune. The subject matter was a little, but the tune was good. I like it. Overall, it's good.
Yep, good tune. Good tune. We're still covering romantic comedies in here. All right. So, romance in Star Wars.
From
So, no discussion about romance in Star Wars would be complete without discussing the romantic relationship between Han and Leia.
Mhm.
Always a fun to watch those two go at it.
Well, I mean, like we were talking about our favorite movies, Empire Strikes Back. Some of the best parts of it was watching those two banter back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, and the romance between the two of them, and you know him trying as hard as he could to impress her, and him as hard as he could to impress her, and her going, "Yeah, I don't like you." And then finally, by the end, you get one of the most famous love lines in Star Wars, and it's "I love you," and I know. Yeah.
What do you think? You think a princess and a guy like me? No.
No. No. No.
No.
Well, that's before George Lucas decided to write him his brother and sister, so we'll forgive it. It's okay.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
which I mean, I guess we could talk about the romance between Leia and Luke. Disturbing as it is.
The romance between the two of them. You mean the part where they get to Return of the Jedi and he goes, "Leia, you're my sister," and everybody goes, "Wait a minute."
Oh man, she kissed him.
Didn't you? That's not like a "Hey, we're friends and we're buddies" kiss. That was yeah. How you doing?
Okay,
Kiss.
so Chantel, I have to ask you to elaborate on that. Unconventional Star Wars romance should be the title of the stream. I need
clarification.
Clarification. I don't understand what you mean by that. I mean, this show is always unconventional, so I mean, hour and a half. I'm surprised we actually got to it finally.
We've been talking a little off and on about it.
She says to go through the chat. I don't have time
Runs
for
in the
that.
chat.
So let's see. Yeah, so we get and then they what happened between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. Obviously it had something to do with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
You're darn right, Chantel. She called me lazy. I like to refer to it as work challenged. I don't know.
I got busy and couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they still, and then when they get back together and there's still, you can still see that spark between the two of them. You can still see the romance between the two of them and the history in them when they get back together in Force Awakens and they see each other again and that kind of stuff. And we don't know a whole lot about what happened between then. And there's been a lot of bad rumors. There's been a lot of speculations. There's been a lot of things that going on. But the thing about it is that you knew that when and I'm going to talk about a sacrilegious topic, but when he passed, because a lot of people don't like to talk about the fact that Hank got killed. When he passed, she felt it. She knew it. And it's obvious that she still cared very deeply and loved him very much. And she felt it. And, we get to see that from A New Hope all the way up to Force Awakens, And, yeah, I mean, that's where the whole... I mean, that's basically the beginning, the cornerstone of romance in Star Wars was Han and Leia.
Yeah.
The playful banter between the two of them, the strong female character with the reckless gunslinger, something that's been kind of a moniker and a staple in movies and books for a long time, but we get to see it played out on screen with those two. And I think, honestly, I mean, I don't, I'm not going to get into the background and stuff like that, but the banter or the chemistry between the two of them seemed like it was pretty good. They seemed to act it out very well and had fun with it. So probably, if you know the background of it, they had a little bit too much fun. So, yeah.
The banter going on in the chat room right now. They're going on. and then Chantel says, "We're not taking this seriously, Shan."
Wait a minute! You came to this show for serious conversation?
Exactly. My response to her was serious on this show.
I want some of whatever it is you're smoking because it's serious.
It might be. Chronologically, if we go back in time, there's the romance between Anakin and Padme.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I
Um,
mean, which is how we get Luke and Leia.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind
And
of
then,
that.
and then, you know, kind of connected to the Anakin Padme because there was a really brutal love triangle going on between Padme and Anakin and Palpatine.
Yeah. I guess you could look at it that way. I guess you could look at it that way. I think it was more for his. I think that was more for his purposes of manipulation rather than being a love triangle.
No. Never mind all that. He was in love with Anakin.
Well, if you look at the well, I mean, seriously, if you look, no, not seriously.
He took
What
him
am I
to the
saying?
opera.
Well,
He took him to the opera.
I don't think that's the same thing. He showed up to the opera and he was already there. That's different, Steve. That's different. That's different, man.
Nah, I'm going with. Oh boy!
You know, they were literally Padme and Anakin were literally the star-crossed lovers because Anakin was a Jedi and she was a senator. It was forbidden by the Jedi, and as far as senators go, it doesn't mean they couldn't be married. But she was such a strong person, such a strong character that I don't think she would have settled for anything less. Oh.
I love it when Chantel comes into the chat room.
Oh.
You're right though. But
Chantel, can you imagine that face sucking on somebody else's face for kissing purposes? I can't see it. It makes me laughing. You're thinking about it in your head, aren't you?
Again, I can just yeah, never mind. Just going back to Anakin. Anakin and Padme. Yeah. So, but you're right. You're that is how we get. I mean, that's the whole saga. Of course, is I mean, technically about Anakin. So you could say that this is just the beginning of the entire saga, and I would rather throw acid on my eyes. Anyway, but yeah, that is how we get. That's how we get the rest of the saga. That's
how we get Luke and Leia. That's how we get Luke and Leia. That's how we get the fall of Darth Vader is because of his passion and his love for her. And the disturbing part of it is that Palpatine, and kind of what you were saying, the disturbing part of it is that, yes, exactly, it's a tragic love story. I mean, it's like the Romeo and Juliet almost of space, if you think about it. And it's
as much as the movies did touch on it all, you really don't get the full story unless you've watched the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I mean, that added context to it. And that was the great thing about, but if you watch the Clone Wars, also you get the short-lived. You get. Uh-oh, what did I miss? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay, we'll go with creepy space love story.
Creepy stalker.
Creepy stalker love story.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! Yeah. It's amazing what you can come up with when your interpretation runs wild.
Yeah.
I kind of agree a little bit, though. He was kind of creepy about it. Because if you watch the part where they're sitting there in front of the fire and they're talking about how much he loves her, it was cringe. It was cringe before cringe was a word. Before it was a pop culture word, it was cringe. I was like, oh my God, this is like horrible.
Chantel and Tina are up to their old tricks. Again.
You too.
You missed it. Like back before you came on, they would their whole goal was to come in here and break us. To get us out of character.
And now we just do it for fun
Now we
and
just-
jokes.
I'm going to come back to that one, Tina, because that's disturbing. But you are correct in saying that the Vader comics do really show how much he grieved her as Vader. So that adds some more context to it.
Mm-hmm. That's why sometimes I get a little annoyed with I know that's the text, the context of the story, and the way they wrote it was, the way they wrote it was, the way they wrote it was Vader and Anakin were two separate people. It was like having a multiple personality syndrome. But in order to torture Vader, in order to torture Anakin and keep him angry, he used things from his past. Yeah, I hate saying he used things from his past and his love for Padme to keep him angry. And so there was still that resemblance. I'm not even going to tell you the first time. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there. Speaking of
that was bad. Jump up here to what Tina said, and she's referring to the fireside chat dialogue. Nope, wrong one.
No one. Jesus Christ. Ouch. That's all I can say about that one is ouch. But yeah, I mean, he used his love for Padme to torture him throughout his time as being Darth Vader, as long as he was around, by giving her the ship and just constantly reminding him what he did and how he screwed up, and he was the one that, made him think that he killed her and stuff like that. So I mean, definitely the tragic side of a romance story and love story. So yeah,
definitely. Another one we can talk about. We're gonna kind of stick to the movies for this next one. I'm kind of going out of order with our notes, which, whether you want to say it was a romance or not, I mean, kind of. Rey and Kylo.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can call it that, because I mean, they obviously weren't friends, but he felt like he needed to sacrifice himself in the end for her because of the way he felt, and because the experiences that he had with her in the short period of time that they interacted. He felt something. Like I said, you may not be able to call it a romance, that's fine, but they kissed. He sacrificed his life to save hers, and he fulfilled he fulfilled his redemption arc by saving her life and bringing her back from death. And that's the whole thing, is that they that's the ultimate sacrifice, is bringing somebody back like that. And he did it because I mean, I'm going to say he did it because he felt something very deeply for her, and that it's just something they didn't get a chance to explore. So you can still call it.
There was clearly a connection. Whether that was a romantic connection or not is up for interpretation. Yeah,
I'm going to say it was. I'm going to say it was, simply for the fact of I don't see very many other defenses for saying it's something else than that. He clearly felt something for him, and he felt something for her, and she for him, because she said that in the end she wanted to take his hand, but she wanted it to be Ben's hand, not Kylo Ren's hand, and she wanted them to join together to fight the darkness together.
Chantal does make a good point here, that she doesn't believe the romance because it felt forced.
Yeah. And I mean, that was kind of one of the issues. That was one of the issues with the movie, is it did kind of feel forced. I think they, in the end, because I think the original script they were going with, Ben was not supposed to be redeemed, and I think a lot of people felt like if Ben didn't get redeemed and the Skywalker side of the bloodline didn't get redeemed, that there would be a problem with that. At least that's something that I read. So they kind of wedged that and forced that in there. And they kind of did, but they did build on it a little bit, because the interactions in The Last Jedi between the two of them, between the force connections that they had, there was somewhat of a relationship starting to build there. So here's a
question I have about that relationship, though. And you stay with me here.
Okay.
Stay with me. So
gotcha.
Let's let's move on with the is predication the word? The theory that because Anakin was created by the Force, and that, again, going under the assumption that Sidious was the one that created him.
I've heard this argument.
So if Anakin was a product of Sidious and Leia was a product of Anakin and Ben was a product of Leia and then Rey was a product of Sidious, is this an incestuous racial relationship?
No, for two reasons. Here's why I said it. Because I've seen the comic book that you're talking about where Sidious says he's the one that learned how to do it from his master, and he's the one that created Anakin. Now, there's so many plot lines there's so many plot holes behind that theory that it's not even funny. But the thing about it is if he used midichlorians to create, let's say that's true. Let's say he forced the midichlorians to create life using the Force. His DNA was not involved. He just used the midichlorians.
What if you're under the assumption that midichlorians are sperm?
No, I'm not going there.
Okay.
No. Well, no, I mean, because everybody, if you follow special biology, that's not impossible. Because if, let's say, I mean, Han was created by, or, any character in the universe was created by whatever. I mean, we never got into that kind of process before. But let's just say they're all created by an egg and a sperm. Let's say they're all created that way. So everybody was created that way, but not everybody is fluent with the Force. Not everybody's able to use the Force. Not everybody, has the fluidity or able to. They're not able to manipulate the Force like, say, Luke or any of those people are. So the midichlorians are something completely different than sperm. So in that being the case, if and here's I'll tell you my other problem with it too. Hot take. I did not like the fact that Anakin was Immaculate Conception. To be honest with you, I wished they'd made it where his mother was like strong in the Force, but she didn't know it. And she fell in love with another Jedi, and they got together and had a romance, and Anakin was created out of that. That was the way I would have preferred it. I never really liked the whole Immaculate Conception idea. I just, for some reason, I was like...
Maybe that wasn't the first time that she and Qui-Gon met.
Oh, now we're doing sound effects. That's awesome. But, but that being said, let's say Palpatine was right. Let's say Palpatine did that. He manipulated midichlorians, but he was not actually involved genetically with the process of making Anakin. But the thing about it is, too, is the comic book that they're referring to where he tells Vader that he's the one that created him. We all know that the Sith is all about lies, manipulation, hatred, creating misinformation in order to get what they want. And Palpatine's ideas of trying to convince Vader and Anakin that he's the reason he existed and he needed to follow him because of that, in my opinion, was all a lie. It was just a lie to manipulate him, and he really didn't have anything to do with it. But like I said, we can go into that some other time about what really was the process, what really happened, because he did say at one time, my master could manipulate midichlorians to create life. That could have been a lie too. He may not even.
Have you ever read the book Darth Plagueis?
Darth Plagueis?
Yeah.
No, I have it in my collection, but I have not read it.
Okay.
But that's not canon anymore, right? I think that one was done before Disney took over.
Was it?
I think so. I'll have to look. I think Darth Plagueis was pre-Disney, though. I think. I'll have to look that up. I may be wrong.
You might be right.
I think
It was a
so.
good book, though. It was a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on from this one. I think we're
gonna go down a rabbit hole on this one.
we're gonna get completely off. I mean, not that we are ever on topic. So we're going to take a deviation for a moment and talk about a couple from Legends.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how familiar you folks are with this, but I would like to take a brief moment to talk about the relationship between Luke and Mara Jade, which
Mara Jade.
starts off in an adversarial role. They did not like each other. they were
She was tasked. She was tasked to kill him.
Yeah, they were very
antagonistic. Yeah. It was not just a, oh, we don't like you. It's a, you need to go kill him.
yeah. Wanted to kill him. But then eventually became, there was mutual admiration. And then they wound up having kids. Which brings up a question. Ooh, that's another good one, Tina. We'll back to that one.
Between myself and Thron.
Shit, lost my train of thought. That doesn't count, Chantel.
Well, Mara Jade, Luke, and then them having kids is kind of where we were at on that.
Oh shit, I forgot where I was going.
Yeah. Now I will say that there are a lot of more people who know about Mara Jade than you would think, because one of the most highly requested people that they want brought into canon was Thrawn and Mara Jade. And see, I always thought, honestly, this was just my headcanon, or this is something I thought whenever the movies were coming out and I had a chance to explore it and say, what are your theories about this, this, and this? Mm-hmm. And I said, one of the ways that Luke could have broke his concentration and did what he did with Ben was because one of his students was Mara Jade, and he found out about her past, but she was actually coming in there to try to learn the proper ways of the Force. They fell in love. He got distracted, and it messed with his mind, and he ended up going the way that he did with Ben.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
So with Luke and Mara, so with Luke trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, I guess this means that he was doing away with the whole no attachment thing.
Well, he did. I believe he did in the EU. Don't quote me on this, but I believe in the EU they did do away with the no attachment thing, because I think that he not only did he recruit people that were older who had sensitivity to the Force, but he also recruited people that I believe were in relationships or were married. So I think in the EU he did. Yeah,
because I mean, in the EU in general, I mean, even back in the Old Republic days, that wasn't a thing. Because if you remember or read any of the Old Republic comic books, Nomi Sunrider was a character that learned the ways of the Force from her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So they had married couples back then. And so the whole no attachment thing wasn't really a thing, it seems, in general in the expanded universe.
Mm-hmm. But I was wondering
back to what Tina was mentioning in the Star Wars video game between Revan and Bastilla.
Mm-hmm.
If you played the Old Republic video game.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, if you look at, and I heard somebody mention, there's two characters I remember mentioning before, or one that I thought of and somebody else mentioned, the relationship between Kanan and Hera. They actually had a kid together.
Oh, we were going to get to that, yeah.
No, okay. And then the one that we didn't mention when we were talking about Clone Wars was there for a short period of time. I mean, very brief, but short period of time. Obi-Wan and Satine. That's and right. Their relationship. He almost fell into that point.
He almost left the Order over that relationship.
Right. And hot take.
So it seems like this no attachment thing is more of a guide than anything.
But if you look at it, they tap dance around it, because if they'd have found out about Anakin and Padme, he would have been kicked out.
He would have been kicked out, yeah.
If they'd have found out about Obi-Wan and Satine, if they'd have let it go on, he'd have been kicked out. they both would have been sent away from the Order. They wouldn't have been allowed to be a part of the Jedi Order anymore, which is kind of my attraction to characters like Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, or not Obi-Wan, Ahsoka and Qui-Gon and Kanan and those characters that were Jedi and follow the tenets of the Jedi, but they go rogue and they kind of break they go against the Order's rules and almost go out on their own, because Ahsoka's decision to leave and do her own thing is kind of the same thing. And then Kanan, he was raised by, he was trained by a Jedi, but he ends up breaking those rules, still being a good guy, still being a Jedi, but he breaks them for Hera because he falls in love with Hera.
Right.
And Obi-Wan almost leaves. I mean, Obi-Wan, one of the best Jedi on the council. I mean, Master Jedi of the council. And he almost leaves because he finds someone that he has such an attraction and a romance with that he almost leaves. And in the current book that we're reading, Quinlan Voss and Asajj, their relationship.
Speaking of which, I'm done with that book.
Yeah, you suck. I'm going to finish it probably tomorrow. I'll probably finish it tomorrow. But
Quinlan Voss and Asajj Ventress. That's definitely
That's a hell of a dynamic relationship. I mean, that was like, wow, Yeah. But it's cool. It's going to be cool to see how that goes, because he kind of, to this point, to where I am in the book, he brought her back into almost, being a good person and being a person who could feel love and who could be in love and who could be in love with somebody else. And now she's trying to rescue him and bring him back.
Yeah.
And if you haven't read the book, you'll understand a little bit better about what we mean when we say that. But we'll probably do. I mean, we talking about that when the new season of Bad Batch comes up and kind of elaborating more on that book, because apparently it has a lot to do. There's some good information in there for season 3 of the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So jumping in to the back into the comic books, I wanted to touch briefly on the relationship between Dr. Aphra and Magna Tolvan. So Magna was so Aphra was kind of her. If any of you folks out there know about Aphra, she's kind of her own person. She's not really Empire, she's not really Rebel. She's just kind of not necessarily to the highest bidder. She's loyal to herself. But Magna was a captain in the Imperial military. So she was started out. She was Empire. And they had a very complicated relationship. A lot of it, of course, having to do with the fact that she was Imperial and Aphra was not. Mm-hmm. But later in the story, Magna switches sides and becomes a rebel. And so by this time, a lot of time has gone by and their relationship was broken off. But then after she switched sides and became a rebel, they crossed paths again. And I love this line because I read it in Wikipedia. So this sentence says, Tolvan and Aphra would cross paths. They're referring to after she had already switched sides to the rebellion. Tolvan and Aphra would cross paths, eventually consummating their romantic relationship. I'm like,
Disney
Now, I
books
know
are
what you're trying
getting
to say, but why are you sugarcoating it?
Disney books are getting a little risky. That's me.
Come on, Wikipedia, just spit it
Well,
out.
do you remember? There was a chapter in From a Certain Point of View from Return of the Jedi, and it sounds kind of similar. There were two women that were pilots. They were friends, and they became more than friends. And then the
Mhm.
one girl finally defected. She went over to the rebellion, and they found out that her friend or lover didn't want to leave because she was loyal to the Empire, and the other girl was like, "You don't know what the Empire's doing," blah 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 blah. And then she said that she later found out that the girl was a spy, and she sent her a message. And then come to find out a little bit later that unfortunately that her lover, who was a spy, lost her life in a bombing. When a facility got bombed or something like that, if I remember correctly. And at the end, the rebellion pilot, her last thoughts before her spacecraft was blown up, trying to fight the last battle above the Death Star 2. Her last thought was of her lover. And it sounds kind of eerily similar to the same thing, kind of the same situation.
Tina, hold that thought. I am actually going to get to that. But what you're talking about, JD, there's also have you gotten around to reading Lost Stars yet?
No, I haven't. I got to get. It's on my list. I got Catalyst I need to read when I'm finished with this one. I've got to read Rebel Rising, and then I think Lost Stars was going to be my next one.
Okay, so yeah, it's a very similar premise. Two individuals grew up together on the same planet. They were recruited by the Empire and went to the academy together. But eventually, one of them went to the rebellion. One of them stayed with the Empire. And it's this whole story of that. So yeah, it's amazing book.
Seems to be a pretty common theme.
Yeah. So Tina, we're gonna hit this. Why does no one have a happy ending in Star Wars? All couples, either one or both, tragically die. Which does bring up another relationship, although very, very brief, that I wanted to bring up. And that is Andor and Jyn Erso. Very brief relationship.
I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could make an argument that could be a romance for Star Wars between the two of them, but I think that was more of a. I think
toward the end, they started to develop stronger feelings for each other.
Yeah, and I would argue, the only thing I would argue is I think that maybe if they would have gotten to go a little bit longer, if they'd have made it a little bit longer and not got incinerated, they probably might have blossomed into something like that. But to me, it was always kind of they had kind of a mutual respect because of all the issues they had between each other, no trust, arguing over what should be done, should we do this, and the banter between, are you as bad as the Empire because you're trying to assassinate somebody that you don't know anything about or don't understand? And I kind of felt like at the end, when they were hugging and it was them coming together, it was, I understand you, you understand me. We're two of the same people. I get that. And if they'd have given them more time, I think it probably would have.
So I haven't read Guardians of the Wills. I will eventually.
I have that. I need to read it.
But I wonder if there wasn't some more than friendship aspect between the relationship between Cherym and Baze.
I haven't heard that there was. Like I said, I have not read Guardians of. Is it Guardians of the Wills?
Guardians of the Wills, yeah.
Guardians of the Wills. I have not read that yet, and I have not heard that there was anything between the two of them. For the only thing that I've ever heard is that they were just friends. They were just close friends. I mean, close friends in war. I mean, there's not. I mean, like I said, I haven't heard anything, but I haven't read that book either, so I haven't heard
Yeah.
that there's been any indication otherwise. But but a lot of people wanted to see Poe and Finn be an item, and
I was going to mention that. I was like, that was something they could have explored,
yeah.
but they dropped the ball on that. So, but then,
Well, but if you ask people, they dropped the ball on a lot of things.
they did. But also, they kind of like did away with that whole idea. I felt like in Rise of Skywalker when Poe met up with his old gang, and it seemed like there was a past relationship gone sour with
Zori.
Zori Bliss. Yeah,
Zori Bliss. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is that right?
Yeah, Zori. Yep.
I think I'm getting.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I think I'm getting. Yeah, you're right. Zori Bliss.
Zori Bliss.
Yeah, I was thinking of a different character. I don't know why. Who was the one from Attack of the Clones? Oh man, what was her name? Like kind of toward the beginning, the Changeling.
Zam Wessel.
Zam Wessel. Okay, yeah. I got those two names confused.
Yep.
Yeah, Zori Bliss. So yeah, it seemed like there was something going on there. But that
again, I mean, again, if it's something they wanted to throw in there and something they wanted to explore, I mean, it would be, I wouldn't be, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to think of it without thinking of the context of the story that we got, and then think about that and go, how would that work? Blah blah blah. But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that is all of our list that we wanted to go through. Was there anything any romantic relationships you can think of that we missed? Are we missing anybody, chat?
Oh, you'll know the name. But basically the beginning of Andor between him and that other what's her name, the one that was sending the signals out for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the kind of the relationship that he had going on with her, and that kind of got interrupted not only because of the other guy who was jealous, but because of just the situation with him trying to escape and him trying to make a buck and trying to get off that planet and stuff like that. There was that relationship between them. So
yeah, there was.
It was brief.
I mean, if you want to go there, maybe the relationship between Deidre and
yeah, 100%. Yeah, those two, the relationship between those two, kind of the same dynamic. They both had so much going on, and they had all the work that they were trying to do for. Dang it, I'm drawing a blank now. For Lothan. All the work they were trying to do for Lothan and stuff like that, all the spying and all that stuff. It was so hard for them to maintain their relationship in there, but you could tell that they were together and they cared about each other, and they wanted to be a part of each other's lives, and they just wanted to get it away from it all. But they both, I don't know, felt like they had an obligation to the duty. And since the one was basically the sister of Mon Mothma, it was like, I can't just walk away. It's not in the cards.
Right. They
Vel and Cinta.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. Thank you, Tina.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Tina. There's been a lot of couples in Star Wars, a lot of romance in Star Wars that have ended badly. I never really thought of it in that manner before. And yeah, they do kind of end badly, and then again, it is literally Star Wars. They're caught up in bad times and they're caught up in wars, but it doesn't end well for either side. Neither side really gets to catch a break.
No doubt. Yeah, it's all one big tragedy. Well, that was Tina. I mean, I agree, but
what did you say? Well, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. I wonder if there was any kind of relationship going on between what is her name? Luthen and his kind of his
his helper.
secretary, kind of his secretary.
Oh, yeah. The lady that was helping him with the shop.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, we cannot skip over this. What am I thinking? I cannot believe, especially with Chantel in the chat. We have to talk. We have to talk about her favorite relationship of Star Wars, Mon Mothma and her husband, whose name is escaping me right now, and I can't. Perrin.
Are we calling that a relationship?
Heck yeah, they're married. They got a kid together.
Yeah.
And yes, Chantel has got very strong feelings about Perrin. So
that is one of these most silently toxic relationships I think I've ever seen in a cinematic universe. Because it's not violent, but those two are just like oil and water. It's just there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So you did hear that? Did you see the announcement that they
Andor finished filming?
Ended on the second season.
Yep. They wrapped up season 2 of Andor.
Man, I'm so looking forward to that show.
Yeah. Now I'll just have to see when it comes out. Hopefully it's they haven't slotted it for this year, so I'm hoping beginning of next year.
Yeah. No, I think this year all we're getting is the Acolyte, aren't we?
Well, we got Bad Batch season 3. We got the Acolyte.
I mean, live action.
Yep. We're getting we had 4 of them.
That's right. We did talk about this.
Yes, and now it's escaping me. Bad Batch season 3, the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and there was one other one. Damn. Yeah.
Shoot, like weeks ago. You expect me to remember?
Yeah,
that?
we talked. That was our beginning of the year show. What we're looking forward to this year, and now it escapes me. There was four announcements. No, it wasn't Ahsoka season 2 because they announced that they're doing production on that now. Well, the Rey movie was going to start this year with production, and so was the Dave Filoni movie. What was the fourth one? Dang it! Now it's just pissing me off.
Tales of the Jedi season 2.
That's what it was. Tales of the Jedi. That's why I couldn't think of it, because it wasn't live action. It wasn't live action. Tales of the Jedi season 2.
We're just getting 2. Yeah,
Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte is what we're supposed to get this year, and then Bad Batch season 3, and then the second season of Tales of the Jedi. Yeah.
Yep.
Next year will be good. I think honestly, this is my prediction. It's my hot take. Since they just now finished production on Andor season 2, I doubt we'll get it in the fall. I think what we'll wind up doing is we'll see it will probably kick off sometime next year in April, because that's when the Japan Star Wars Celebration comes out in April, and I'll bet you money that they're going to show like the first 2 episodes of Andor season 2 at Star Wars Celebration. I think there's going to be a lot of announcements at Star Wars Celebration 2025, because by then production on 2 movies will have wrapped. Season 2 of Ahsoka will probably get ready to wrap, so they'll talk about it. There's probably going to be a lot coming out. There's really probably going to be a lot to pay attention to in 2025, because I think there's going to be a lot of announcements, a lot of new material, a lot of new things coming out, and things to see. I'm expecting 2 seasons of Andor, or two episodes of Andor to be launched, and probably get a trailer for one of the 2 movies.
Yeah,
that's what I'm guessing. Probably Dave Filoni's movie, because I think, wasn't it slotted to come out? Was it both of them were 2026, but one was in May and one was in December of 2026? Isn't that right? I think that's
sounds
right.
about right.
I think that's right. So yeah, I mean that's the problem with romance in a movie genre set in war and disparity and things like that. Is sometimes, well, most of the time, it doesn't work out the way you want it to, which is unfortunate because there's really a lot of great love stories in there. A lot of great stories to takes from it. And if you take the good times and you eliminate the bad, you really get some good context and some really good romantic inspiration from it. But unfortunately. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't always work out so good.
So, so next week we do not have a show. My band is playing our own show next Tuesday, so no show next week. However, the next 4 weeks after that have been scheduled, so I'm going to run through those with you real quick. February 27th is going to be our Bad Batch Season 3 premiere reactions. There'll be 3 episodes that we can talk about. And then on March 5th, we begin our discussion of the prequel trilogy with a discussion of The Phantom Menace. And then on March 12th, we will discuss Attack of the Clones. And then wrap that series up on the 19th with Revenge of the Sith. We don't have anything scheduled after that, but I'm gathering at some point one of those we will probably start talking about some of the books that we were going to talk about.
That means I need to get to reading.
I mean, we'll figure it out. We've got several weeks, and yeah, we got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time, plenty of topics. Stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, that is it for us tonight. Thanks to everybody who is watching on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe and like and comment, all that good stuff. And then if you're listening on the audio, please rate and review if possible. And we will see you again on February 27th. Have a great night, and may the force be with you.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.